Eagles signed some depth pieces. Eagles signed their man. Eagles redo a deal. It was a very busy, maybe not exciting, but very busy day in Eagles Nation yesterday. We got lots to talk about today. Plus, who knows what else? Phillies World Baseball Classic, Sixers in tank mode, Players Championship second round about to get underway, trending in the AM. We are live, taking your thoughts and opinions. 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody. Welcome one, welcome all to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. We're live, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, you know the drill, wherever you're watching. Whatever platform you're watching on, please hit the buttons wherever they are on your screen. Whether it's a like button, a share button, a subscribe button, please do it. It is free to do. We are trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the start of the NFL season. It's not a long period of time to gain. We are at 1049, so to gain 951 subscribers in the next, 5 or 6 months, it's a big, bold move. But we're going to try to do it. I can only do it with your help. I'm going to put the grind in. You put the work in. Whether you're watching this live or on replay later today, hit the buttons. Whether you're watching this on replay, I respond to all replay gang comments. So make sure you drop your comments, whether you're watching live or not, and vote on our poll question of the day. And it's a stupid-ass poll question, even though I created it. Poll question is just for the live viewers. Are you losing faith in Howie Roseman yet? Yes, no, or no, but I'm getting worried. And if it's already not 100% no, and that just drives me completely nuts. And that's basically where we get started today, guys. I'm Phil Stiefel, your host. Eagles Nation. Yesterday was a very interesting day for Eagles fans. Some signings. We'll get into them all in a little bit. But yesterday was one of those interesting days because not a lot happened. Things that we wanted to happen didn't happen, right? Or we hoped happened, didn't happen. And here we go on March 13th. It's Friday the 13th. Maybe that's why, because there's another Friday the 13th today happening, second month in a row. Here we are on Friday the 13th, and Eagles Nation is in full panic mode. The Eagles are going to stink. The Eagles aren't going to be good again. Howie Roseman has lost his touch. What is Howie doing? It didn't take but 1 week of the offseason, and the Eagles fans have completely turned on their amazing NFL Hall of Fame worthy GM, the best GM in football, the best GM in sports, well, one of the best in sports. And it literally took them less than a week, and everybody's moved on. And I'm here to tell you, if you've lost faith in Howie Roseman at all, you can go kick rocks. Because it's the dumbest thing in the world you can do is lose faith in Howie Roseman. So let's recap yesterday's day. I'll get to the comments in just a minute, TMC. I see you dropping a lot of comments, and Little G. We'll get to them in a minute here. Let's go over some of the things yesterday. The Eagles got their man yesterday, signing their punter, Braden Mann, to a 4-year, $14 million contract, 7 guaranteed, 3.5 per year, the 5th highest paid punter in the NFL. That's a really good signing there, really good contract. He's obviously a great punter. It's great to lock up your punter long term. He is also a very good holder on kicks. That's a very key part of locking up Braden Mann there. That was big move number one. Big move number two, and this is the scary move of the day yesterday. Landon Dickerson renegotiated or redid his contract with the Eagles. There are a lot of moving parts in it, but basically he is getting more money now and clearing cap space down the line for the Eagles, making him a free agent in 2 years. Basically, putting him in a position to potentially retire after 2 more years of football. Or hit free agency if he gets healthy and gets his mind right. That's a big deal. That's something we're going to have to talk a lot about today with Landon Dickerson there. The Eagles also signed veteran cornerback Jonathon Jones. He played with Washington and New England. He's a 32-year-old depth piece. A guy that's going to be your 4th, 5th cornerback on your bench probably. Jonathon Jones to a 1-year deal. Dude actually had some good years back in the day with Washington. We'll look at that throughout the show. Then last night I went to bed early and, of course, missed the signing of the Eagles have to always sign at least one player I can't pronounce the name of. So they go out and sign defensive end who played at Temple and played at Penn State from Maryland, 27-year-old Arnold Abikatai is how we're going to say it. Arnold. So the Eagles went out and signed a bunch of players. We deal with Brandon Mann. We get Landon Dickerson, and here we are, Eagles fans everywhere in full panic mode. And I don't know why. So let me just fire through some of these comments here. Man, Chatter created a drinking game. It's 8 a.m. Good morning, Little G. Happy birthday to your cousin. We won't have a show tomorrow, so happy birthday to your cousin tomorrow. It's a drinking game. Every time the Eagles sign a guy nobody ever heard of, you take a shot. Cool. Go for it. I'm like Stone Cold over here. Each player, what, who. I get it. They're not flashy names, but this is Howie's MO. Draft great, re-sign your great players, and fill in the cracks with veteran depth presence. Cheap 1-year deals. That is how Howie Roseman does business. Now, this new edge rusher, Abikatai, I did see a stat, the second half of last year, weeks 12 through 18, he did have the number 1 quarterback pressure rate in the NFL. So that is a good thing right there. Good morning, Robert. How you doing? What's up, Mr. Soldier Steve? It's why I asked that Howie question last week. I know. And it's crazy, Steve. I put out a tweet last night. I trust Howie Roseman. I trust Nick Sirianni. I trust Jalen Hurts. I trust Vic Fangio. You got Jaquan Brisker, who every Eagles fan wanted for some reason. I wanted him in the draft. He's got concussion issues in his history. Solid safety. Signs a 1-year, $5.5 million. Howie Roseman, what are you doing? How dare you? I'm pretty sure if Brisker was the guy that Vic Fangio wanted as his safety, he'd be on the Eagles, especially when his contract is only $5.5 million, not the guarantees total. So the fact that everybody falls in love with a name because somebody mentions it, and then we don't get that name. It's Howie didn't do his job. Trust me. Howie Roseman knows what he is doing. Trust me. Howie Roseman and Vic Fangio are working on the defense. Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, Sean Mannion, they're working on the offense. You can't sign everybody. And this team is still littered with all-pro players at so many positions. Everybody's worried about safety, and I am too. I know our safety room is weak right now, right? No doubt about it. You've got Drew McCuba coming off an injury as a rookie. You got Sidney Jones, maybe Michael Carter, and that's it right now. I know Marcus Epps is still sitting out there. Maybe they bring him back. But it's March 13th. We're still months from training camp. We're still a month and a half from the draft. Hell, in 2022, we did not trade for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson till like August 20th or something like that. It was like 2 weeks before the season, and we got Chauncey. Patience. There will be another safety, 2 or 3 brought in. There will be another wide receiver brought in. There will be more players. I think the Eagles, Howie Roseman, have earned the right that we should trust them. We should have faith in him. Come on. Yeah, I know. Who? Right. They're all 1-year deals, meaning you're out of money. No, it means you've got to pay Jalen Carter a huge extension. It means they've been reported to be working on a trade and extension for Jonathon Greenard for like 2 days now. They still got to sign Dallas Goedert maybe if they get it done today. Got a lot of work to do. Happy Friday the 13th, chat, yeah. It's 2 straight Friday the 13th. I'm so glad I'm not in the pizza shop business anymore. Worst days in the pizza business. Phillies, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson ain't good. Bills keep signing. Look, and there's another one. Yesterday it was Brisker and Chauncey got signed elsewhere, not in Philly. And here goes Eagles fans everywhere freaking out, right? Relax. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he's a solid player. The dude has literally been on 37 NFL teams in the last 5 years. I think he played on 3 different teams last year. He's a very quality player. He's not great. He's not bad. He brings a lot of spunk, a lot of attitude, a lot of fun to your defense. But he has a very short window in every organization because he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Now, go figure, he's been on the Eagles twice. We've been to the Super Bowl both times he's here. You got to have a really great secondary around him because he's going to be like, he's a ball hawk guy. He goes for the big hit, but he also misses the ball, and he also misses the big hit sometimes. He's a boom-bust player. So if your defense is great, he'll be a great complement to it. Make big plays. But if you got a weak secondary, he's going to bite, and he's going to blow it up. Eagles waiting to complete this. Stop. Just once you put that word in there, I don't even want to hear it. We worried about the edge. Yes, the Eagles still have an issue at edge. Now, obviously, signing Arnold Ebiketie is not a big move. It's similar to when we signed Azeez Ojulari last year. A 1 year. Can we get something out of a guy that was once showed some potential, flashed something, didn't quite work out in his last spot? It is what it is. They're still heavily rumored from Greenard. It doesn't rule them out there. I'm sure there are other names. There's edges in the draft. Again, yes, last year we went into the season pretty weak at the position, unfortunately. But it's March 13th. It's not August 31st right now, all right? We've got to be patient with Howie Roseman here. Free agency officially started at 4 o'clock on Wednesday, and the Eagles are already the worst team in football because of what? Because they weren't aggressive in the first. Nobody wins. The teams that everyone's saying had the best offseason so far, none of those teams are winning the damn Super Bowl next year. I guarantee you that. Eagles need to draft O-linemen. Yeah, absolutely. Look, we got to get into it. The Landon Dickerson contract reworking yesterday scares the holy hell out of me, Robert, because we've already got to find Lane Johnson's replacement, right? And now I worry we got to find Landon Dickerson's replacement. Redoing your deal and agreeing to redo your deal. Getting a little bit more guaranteed money, but overall less money, right? And getting out of your contract in 2 years versus 3 years. Tells me you're trying to help the team, try to get as much money up front as you can because you know your career's not long. That you're healthy to play this year. You hope to play this year. You hope to play next year. But you don't know if your body can hold up much more than 2 years. So you want to get as much cash up front right now to finish off that bank account for retirement, right? It scares me that the Eagles now might be losing Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson over the next 2 years. That's a big, big thing. Now, it also gives Landon Dickerson, if he gets healthy physically, if he gets his mind right, it lets him re-hit free agency in 2028 and then cash in again. So it does give him some flexibility there to, when the market resets in 2 years to get a bigger bag. But it scares me, the Landon Dickerson situation, with that contract changing over like that. Don't be a snowflake. I didn't mean it. I know what you mean. I just don't like it. Good morning. Happy Friday. Be patient. Howie's King. Adam, you were spot on with this comment. Patience. Patience is okay to have in March with your football team. Howie does his best work all year long. not in a 2-day window, okay? We've got to relax on this Howie Roseman situation. We got to relax on bashing Howie Roseman. We got to relax on losing faith on a guy that has built, arguably, one of the best organizations over the last 10 years. The lack of faith we have. It's nonsense, Adam. Complete and straight nonsense. What is that Fresh Prince meme where the wall's in the room and it's empty? Yes. That's not the Eagles anymore. We've got guys everywhere now. Yeah, a little light on the watching this morning. The algo must not be hitting this morning. We've had a huge boom week this week, Robert. Gained 9 new subscribers. Had some 300 viewed shows this week. But today, it's not starting off hot today. I guess people are getting a little tired of me today. Good morning, Bruce. How you doing today? I made the big mistake taking Morikawa as he hurt his back and couldn't play. Dude, a lot of people did. I had him in 6 of my 21 lineups, yes. Colin Moore. I also had Ryan Fox, who had to have a kidney stone emergency surgery on Thursday morning withdrawal as well. So I'm right there with you. But there are a lot of people, like you build 20 lineups that had 40, 50% investment in him. Colin Morikawa withdrawing on the second hole yesterday, the Players' Championship. Brutal. You are not alone, Bruce, in that upsetness right there, in that frustration right there. Trust me on that. But yeah. Plays in a 3-4 defense as an outside linebacker, mainly rushing the quarterback. Yes. Instead of Albert O or Aqua Bowman, we're just going to call him Arnold E, right? Is that what we're going to call him? No, Eagles aren't bringing you content. I mean, Braden Mann, getting your man ain't bringing you content. I think the Landon Dickerson thing, I don't think enough fans understand how scary that everyone's like, oh, well, it probably saved us a couple million in salary cap space. Yeah, it probably did. But what it really does is tell you that Landon Dickerson might be contemplating retirement more than we realize. Yeah, it happened to a lot of people. Me, you, and about 40% of the golf betting, fantasy, contest pool people out there. Colin Morikawa should have won or been right near the leaderboard come Sunday in this event. Just goes to show how thick that rough is there at TPC Sawgrass. It was an entertaining first round of the Players' Championship yesterday. A lot of carnage all over the place. People putting up quadruple bogeys. The most water balls on hole 17 in the first round in ages. I think the water level rose like 10 feet yesterday. So many balls went in the water. A couple guys put 2 balls in the water. It was a very entertaining round. You had some great golf as well, played by some guys. A couple guys that I was really high on that really did well. Fleetwood, who I love, did well yesterday. Russell Henley did well yesterday. Bunch of guys. Sahith Theegala, who I was big on this week, had a very good day. Smotherman had a very good day yesterday. 6 sacks. Yes. Look, the guy's got potential. Like I said, his numbers, the sack numbers weren't there last year. Arnold E. But his pressure rate the last half of the football season was number 1 in the NFL. So he's perfect for the Eagles in the almost sack category. Phil, in my pool, if your player withdraws, then you automatically get the score or whatever the cut line is for that player who withdrawed. Oh, that's cool. That's a good little bonus there. All right, well, I mean, the cut line's going to, I don't know where it's going to be exactly. The day is just getting underway. I would expect the cut to be +2, +3 today, at least. At least they are getting ahead of the Landon's possible retirement. They almost dropped the ball with Vic and not preparing for his potential exit. Well, now they did do that. We didn't get into it. The Eagles announced all their coaching, titles and new coaches. They put out their official coaching depth chart the other day. We didn't really talk about it. And what they did do, they gave Clint Hurt kind of a promotion. I don't even have it in front of me. He's the associate head coach now, along with his defensive responsibilities. Probably with that promotion came a pay raise, basically spelling out that Hurt would be the front runner to be Vic Fangio's replacement next year or 2 years from now, right? So that's a good thing, right? And yes, they're getting out in front of Landon Dickerson's possible retirement, giving him some extra money now, right? so that he secures a little extra money for his financial future now, and it makes it a little less of a problem when he retires in a year or two, financially, salary cap-wise, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, Nooms, I hope your stepfather's doing okay, or if your family's doing okay. Thoughts, I've thought about you a lot in the last 24 hours. Very hopeful that you guys are doing okay. Dickerson's deal seems like just a bet hedge than 100% certainty. Just need to see how it goes. Yeah, it also, what it does, Nooms, and I said it a few minutes ago, what it also does is if Landon Dickerson gets his body fully healthy, if he gets his mind fully right, what it does is it lets him re-enter free agency in 2028, which, God, the market for offensive linemen keeps exploding. The market keeps resetting. I don't want to know what elite offensive linemen and guards will be getting paid in 2028. But in 2028, he'll only be 29 years old. So if he stays healthy and he wants to keep playing, in 2028, he's going to sign a massive contract, right? Here or elsewhere. Probably here. So he gets upfront money now in case he retires. The Eagles get off that last year of his deal in case he retires. And on the flip side, he could get paid big before he hits 30 years old if he doesn't retire. So I think there's a lot of moving parts there, but it does scare me. It does worry me that we might have to replace 2 linemen instead of 1 in the next 2 years. Love golf now almost as much as the NFL or the Phillies, who I love the most. I love golf. I was never a big golfer. I became a big golfer over the last 20 years. I love betting golf and doing pools and fantasy golf. It's the best sport to gamble on in any form, Bruce. It's such a roller coaster. Howie making small moves but setting up for something big. I mean, what's the title of the show? Are the Eagles gearing up for something big? Most likely that something big is the Jalen Carter extension. I am not as high on the Eagles trading for Jonathon Greenard as other people are. But they are, in a lot of rumors, in a lot of circles, there's rumors that they are working out a renegotiation of his contract before they make the trade for him. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But if you got to pay Greenard $25 million a year starting at his year 29, he's going to be 29 years old. You might as well have signed Trey Hendrickson to 29 or brought back Jalen Phillips to 30, honestly, in my opinion. But Greenard's would be a huge upgrade and help to our edge room. But, you know, there's going to be more moves happening here. Praying, yeah, absolutely. 100% positive right there. +2 cut line, needs Smothern to miss the putt on 850. Yeah. I'm praying for you, although I do have, how many? I do have 4 or 5 Austin Smotherman lineups too. So any objective assessment about Howie has to acknowledge that he is as much a victim beneficiary of events, not of his own making. His decision-making on players and contracts has been suspect. His decision-making on players, drafting Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Hurts, trading for A.J. Brown, drafting Devontae Smith. Should I go on? His players suspect? He signs contracts for players most of the time before they hit the market. I think that's totally his biggest problem. We have to acknowledge he is a victim of his own success. Okay? Howie Roseman is the best GM in football, bar none. And I'm sorry you can't see it, Keith. I'm glad we're back to disagreeing instead of being on the same page like we were the other day. I don't remember what we were on the same page about. Yes, absolutely, positive. Look, I've got the utmost faith. Call me what you want. I've got the utmost faith in Howie Roseman. Why? Because he's proven it. Why? Because he's proved his worth. Time in and time again. Howie Roseman has not let us down. Has he made mistakes? Sure. Every GM is going to miss on a draft pick. Every GM is going to miss on a player. Keith's take you're talking about. I'm hoping you're talking about Keith's take, not my take, Kevin. And good morning to you. Howie Roseman is the best GM out there. 1,000. I don't think it's ever happened. We've seen coaches traded in the NFL, Robert. I don't think we've ever seen a GM trade it. Maybe we have. I'm not sure. But if a team called and could if somebody wanted to trade for Howie Roseman, a team would be willing to give up so much. If Howie Roseman got fired, teams would be firing their GMs and lining up to get him. They'd be giving him ownership percentages, stakes in the team. Phil, I feel Howie's the best GM in all of football and also should be in the Hall. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Are there GMs in the Hall? There's not too many GMs in the Hall of Fame. But yes, he is. Best news like Saquon. I mean, one of his missteps, and I'm sure Keith would say this, so I'll just say it. One of his missteps would be probably giving Saquon that extension unnecessarily last offseason. It probably freed up cap space last year, but probably puts us in a hole this year. That is probably was an unnecessary move. I get why he did it, but it was probably unnecessary. Howie's not perfect. No GM is perfect. When you're dealing with 90 players, him like 120 because he rotates that practice squad so much, you're going to make a mistake here or there. 100 contracts a day, players' contracts, the draft, everything else, you're going to miss. But his miss rate is so much lower than anyone else there. I'm glad I assumed that accurately. Yeah, good morning. Absolutely. I feel if someone says Howie isn't the best, then they don't know football. I'm just going to say, I hate people that say, you disagree, you don't know ball. Because people tell me that all the time. I don't know ball because I disagree with opinions. I think differently and outside the box. I'm sorry to hear that. Apologize. Or, well, not apologize. I feel bad. I'm sorry. We're all here for you. The Core 12 is not just a fun place to talk sports. We're family here. We all were thinking about you yesterday. We were all here for you yesterday. We're all here for you today. Nooms, 100%. No matter how much we disagree on sports, we are all a family here on the Trending in the AM family. We're here for you. We're thinking of you, my man. Forget how deep in the playoffs did y'all get. We got to the playoffs. We got just as far as your Buffalo Bills did. Well, I think you guys made 1-1 game. We do have two Super Bowl appearances in the last 4 years. We've got 2 championships in the last 9 years. Yeah, low viewership this morning. I think Eagles fans are burned out this morning. Howie bought a bunch of scrubs in here in 23. He drafted Reagor and Whiteside. Okay, and he drafted, Smitty and traded for A.J. Brown. He replaced Reddick's production with Bryce Huff, which, by the way, Bryce Huff retiring at 27 was surprising. Yeah, he made some mistakes. He has made mistakes. Every GM makes mistakes. Howie Roseman makes a crap ton less. For every Reagor, there's a Devontae Smith. For every Hassan Reddick, there's a Jalix Hunt. For every, where's your counter to Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis? Come on. Pulling out 2 or 3 mistakes, but ignoring the dozen good things is just complaining. Nobody's 100% in the draft and free agency. Guy left you on a rage and thumb down you as in your face. What? Who did that? That other guy the other day. I think, you're talking about, you're talking about Truth Seeker. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm thumbing down and telling everybody. Cool, buddy. Cool. I wonder where the Rage Seeker is today. I think the only GM in sports that is Howie's level is Sam Presti, and what he has done in OKC, but he's the only one. I think that's a guy. I think it's the Mount Rushmore of active GMs in sports. Howie Roseman and Sam Presti are definitely on it. I don't know who the other 2 spots would be, but that's a great clip I'm going to pull out, and we're going to put that to the test. I'm going to ask the world later today, who's on the Mount Rushmore of active GMs in the 4 major sports? Howie Roseman, Sam Presti, and who else? It will be 40 concurrent if Eagles make a move. Well, we got to 39 concurrent viewers yesterday. It was the highest we've been at maybe ever. I don't know. Yes. We're all family. We might not agree, Keith, right? But we're all family here in this show. Super Bowl, Snooper Bowl. Is that what that matters to you, Phil? Super Bowls? Yes, being world champs matters to me. Being Super Bowl champs, being world champs for all my teams, that is all that matters. And if it doesn't matter to you, then that means you're not a fan. It's the only thing that matters in sports is being world champs. 6 general managers in the Hall of Fame. Gotcha. So Howie Roseman will be there one day. Yeah, would you prefer to fire Howie Roseman and try your luck with somebody else? Hells to the no, Kevin. If we got Justin Jefferson, we wouldn't have gotten A.J. Brown. Absolutely. We wouldn't have gotten Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. We would have had just Justin Jefferson. And we see how well Justin Jefferson has performed statistically in Minnesota, but they didn't win jack shit up there in Minnesota. So, yeah. Yeah. Exactly. What's up? How we doing today? We should draft the safety in round 1. Definitely want the safety from Toledo. We got our first Twitter commenter of the day. Awesome. Cool. Great. Thank you for joining in. Maybe find the YouTube channel if you'd like as well. I don't see the Eagles drafting a safety in round 1. I do see them drafting a safety. Depends on how the board falls. There are a lot of safeties. I'm still on the offensive lineman top priority. Maybe wide receiver. Doubtful that Sadiq falls as a tight end, but it's offensive line, edge, that kind of stuff. You got the dude from Penn State, the safety, probably in rounds 3 or 4. You could go after him. I do know there are some very high-quality safeties that you could draft in round 1. I don't think Howie Roseman has ever drafted a safety in round 1. Has he? I don't think so. I don't even know when the last safety was that we drafted in round 1. But the safety room isn't complete. Just because we didn't get Brisker, just because we didn't re-sign Chauncey, Eagles fans got to relax. We didn't bring in Chauncey the first time till late August. The only I'm still upset about is Jefferson, to be honest. But again, the whole course of Eagles history changes. Him messing that up is why we are where we are today, with 2 elite wide receivers instead of 1, with 2 Super Bowls, well, one more Super Bowl. Honestly, I think Howie just setting up to make a huge move, but not overpay early. Absolutely. I think Howie's cooking something up. I do. I think he's really cooking something up right now. But you are. It sounds like you are. You're pointing out 2 flaws versus 10 strengths. Okay? You're pulling 2 misses to 10 hits, right? Howie's batting .400 right now, which is Hall of Fame level, if you want to go baseball terms. He's shooting 90% from the free throw line, okay? He's breaking Steph Curry's three-point record right now. The point isn't whether he's doing a good job or not right now or has in the past. The point of the conversation is we need to have faith in him because he hits more than misses. And when I see people on Twitter and on social media saying how he stinks, how he's past his prime, the game has gone past him, I laugh at it, Keith. That's the point I'm getting at. Is today the day we sign Dallas Goedert? If it doesn't happen today, Rick, and good morning to you. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't voted on the poll. If he doesn't sign Dallas Goedert today, then we're never signing Dallas Goedert. The voiding of his contract got pushed back to today. Not sure what time, probably later in the afternoon. If the Dallas Goedert deal does not get done today, I don't expect it to get done at all. And then we're going to be drafting somebody and rolling with a bunch of scrubs at tight end. Plain and simple. It is what it is. I think it gets done today. I hope it gets done today. It frees up a lot of cap space if it gets done today. But I'm more at a loss for words with the tight end situation than I am the safety situation at this point. Kyler Murray went to the Vikings. All the memes and GIFs and videos of midgets next to Justin Jefferson are so freaking funny because of how small Kyler Murray is and all. Love it, love it. I hope they put in his contract somewhere that he's actually got to practice. Nothing has happened. The reports still on Greenard are that the Eagles are trying to work with his agent on an extension ahead of time, and the Vikings gave that permission, that's the reports, before they make the trade. The Eagles don't want to make the trade unless he wants to sign an extension that they can afford, right? So, do that. Look, I know Eagles fans are excited about Greenard. I think they're excited about Greenard because our edge room is so weak. I think people got to put into perspective. Grenard's a really good player, but at the money you're going to have to pay him at 29 years, he'll be 29 by the start of the season. The money you're going to have to pay him, and you got to give up draft capital to get him, you might as well have just kept Jalen Phillips for a few $1 million more a year. Or you might as well have gone out and given, Trey Hendrickson that big deal, right? That's just my opinion. They're saying the extension for him is going to be in the range of 3 years, $75 to 3 years, $80 million, $25 to $28 million a year. Well, Hendrickson got 28.5 a year, and Phillips got 30 a year. Phillips was 3 years younger than Greenard. So I will be happy if they bring him in. I will not like that as the pivot from the other top guys. You're right. We probably would not have a Super Bowl if we. Exactly. Everything changes. Just attributing blame for failure as much as he gets praised. Look, I give him credit. Look, I have called him out plenty of times in the past. Not recently, but in the past. Hell, back in like 2019, 2020, I was on the train and maybe we've got to consider moving on from him. I've done it before. But I backed off and said, I look at the big picture. The successes outweigh the failures, okay? And the successes lead me to believe it's not necessary to doubt him 4 days into free agency. Because that's really what we're talking about here. We're talking about the people that are doubting him 4 days into free agency, which makes literally zero sense in my mind. There's no reason to doubt a guy at this point. You guys need to move on from Dallas anyway. The problem isn't moving on from because of the injuries or his age or anything else. The problem is the way the contract, and this is one of Howie's flaws. Eventually, some of the dead cap money does catch up. Sometimes those void years catch up. If you let Dallas Goedert walk, you're paying him $20 million to walk away out of our cap this year. You keep him, that number comes down by half, maybe more than half, depending on the contract they sign. So that's the thing. There's one of Howie's flaws. Sometimes these dead cap numbers, these void years, catch up to him, and he's got to get creative. We had almost $90 million in dead cap space last year. Probably affected the team. Kyler Murray is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in football. We good, thanks all. He did right. I'm glad to hear that. But if you need anybody to talk to, we're all here for you. Let's use sports talk and let's argue about sports to move on, right? To distract from the moment, right? Go Howie. Maybe draft Max Crosby. Trade for Max Crosby? Draft the next Max Crosby? Maybe. Look, Max Crosby reports are that the Raiders now don't want to trade him. I think that's just the Raiders' way of saying to the league, we're not budging on our 2 first-round picks. I don't think they're afraid to trade him. I think they still want to trade him. I'm not going to say I'm trading 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby. I'm not. That's a little rich for my blood. Since Eagles never drafted a safety in the first round, they did. Second round, it was Jaquai Jarrett in 2011, Nate Allen 12. So there you go. Good reason. Thank you for doing. You're my research man, Adam. It's been since 2012 since we drafted one in the second round. Never drafted one in the first round. So everybody said, and now Howie has changed occasionally over the last years. He's done some things different. He's paid a linebacker, paid a running back. You know, he's pivoted from philosophies. So I'm not ruling it out entirely, but I do feel that the offensive line, and if not signing somebody, edge are his top priorities. You think Jefferson be bigger? He is only 6'1". The videos and the GIFs, though, the AI-generated stuff is hilarious on it. Who that guy from the Vikings edge everyone wants to trade for? We're talking about him, Greenard. I mean, we mentioned his name like 9 times. Pay attention. Focus. Focus, Daniel Son. People are bashing Howie Roseman for no reason. People are losing faith because they panic. Because they hear a WIP that Howie Roseman's losing his touch. They hear people like Spiky Nepo Boyeskin saying, maybe it's time we move on from Howie Roseman. So when they hear somebody on WIP say it, they believe it because 30 years ago it was once a reputable site, right? Now it's just a joke. That's the problem. That's why I say turn the dial down and turn trending in the AM up. Twitter is a mess. I saw so many. It's over. Every team that didn't make a big $100 million signing, their fan base is saying our season's over already. Why even watch? It's stupid. I do not think we're losing. Well, hold on. I should say I don't think. I don't want to lose A.J. Brown. I also understand why people want to lose A.J. Brown. I see both sides of the equation. My thought process has not budged one iota on A.J. Brown, Rick. Now, another Rick joining the chat. We got another guy, Rick, that's here all the time. He's completely anti-A.J. Brown. Now I got to remember to keep the Rick separated here. My opinion on A.J. Brown has stayed exactly firm all the time. The Eagles will only trade A.J. Brown two things. One, post June 1st to split up the cap hit. Two, if they get a massive haul. A first, a third, a player, first, a second. They are not. There's somebody saying, there's some reporter reporting the Eagles are now considering accepting a second and a fourth round pick. No chance in hell. If there's not a first round pick attached, it's not happening. It's a first round pick in 2027. We will not get any 26 draft capital, and it won't be before June 1st. I'm still sitting on the fence that it's 50-50. Then the question is, you just create a huge hole at wide receiver 1. It was a major relief to know that they went the extra mile to handle their affairs. Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. That's something that everybody should do, Nooms. AJ is going, I don't know. Yes, all love. Philly Flyers, so you're saying there's a chance. There's always a chance. What do we got here? Manuel, what's up, my man? People are impatient and greedy. They want it all, and they want it now. They want it all, they want it now, and they want it. They should just call J.G. Wentworth, right? Basically, right? They want it all, they want it now. Call J.G. Wentworth, 877 cash now, right? Seriously. And then they hear, hey, this guy's a free agent. He would fit the Eagles well. Well, now we want him. Brisker is a prime example. We didn't get Brisker. Yeah, I shocked that at that price we didn't sign him. But the dude's got concussion issues in his career. If a defensive player is available and the Eagles do not sign him, I guarantee you it's because Vic Fangio said, I'm good, I don't like that player, or we don't need that player. Go in this direction. Trust me on that. Tigers have a great chance. Takada's been playing well. Maybe I got to start watching them. I'm not watching any Sixers, so I might as well watch some Flyers hockey instead, right? Yes, everyone should be listening to absolutely. Days like yesterday should be doubled, right? Tripled. Two things you need to make content if you're a radio station. Mouse to feed, but to suggest moving on from the best GM is that it happens. You know why? And they see, the funny thing, man, chatter, is a guy that used to, so the main guy that I bashed the most, Spike Eskin, that's on the afternoon there, he used to run the top radio station in New York, okay? And a guy that worked for him said, yes, we used to have meetings, and they would sit around the table if we're going on the air and say, what can we say stupid today? I'll say it, you counter it. Or today, you say it, and I'll counter it. We don't believe it, but what can we say awful or crazy or insane to get people calling, clicking, and talking on social media? It's basically like a marketing ploy. They don't even believe it. But the thing is, the fans listening believe it. You're not from Philly. WIP was the truth back in the day when they were on the AM dial. It was literally, I couldn't wait to listen to it on the radio after school. I couldn't wait to sit in the car with my dad on Saturdays delivering newspapers for 6 hours, listening to it all day long. It was where you got your information. It's where you had heard real interviews, where you could actually call in and have your opinion debated. But now, it's not. I love to think that this is the calm before the Sixers' comeback storm. PG JoJo last-ditch push. We get Maxey his rest that is needed. You got Maxey hurt. Now you got Bone and Drummond hurt. The Sixers, man. Just think about it. The real downfall of this Sixers season started when Paul George got suspended. That's all the time I'm going to waste talking Sixers today, though. I mean, if you want to talk, we'll talk. But I'm not wasting my breath. Not wasting my breath and energy on the Philadelphia 76ers at all. Where are we at in the poll question? Unfortunately, it's two all over the place. Are you losing faith in Howie Roseman? Yes, 21%. Are we kidding ourselves? 71% no, 7% getting worried. Crazy. Bunch of crazies out there with Howie Roseman. A bunch of crazies. That there's 30% of people that have either lost faith or are losing faith in the man. It's insanity. Complete and total insanity. Yeah, he's out there, but he's still doing content somewhere around the world right now. Maybe Jacob, I don't know where he is. I know I've seen him pop up. WIP was the big deal back in the day, but lost it when Spike Eskin took over the first time, and now the second time. I mean, they've been going downhill. Social media ruined it, basically. Hopefully we get the Patrick Robertson impact from Rick Woolen. Now, the thing is with Rick Woolen, he did speak yesterday. He had his intro presser and all. He said a lot of good things. For Clem, stuff stuck inside my chest right now. He spoke. He's got a lot of that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson spunk to him, Rick Woolen, which you love, which the Eagles defense misses that personality, that hype and all. He does have a penalty problem. He does have a taunt. He had more taunting penalties last year than any team did combined. So it's a problem right there, right? But he admitted it yesterday. He's like, I know what my flaws are. I've got to work on them. And I've got to be better. Rick Woolen knows at his age that his career is far from over. If he goes out there and crushes a great season, he's going to get paid next offseason, knowing what cornerbacks are getting paid right now, right? I expect more than a Patrick Robertson impact. I expect him to come out there and play really damn well for the Eagles next year, to be a step up from Adoree Jackson, who actually played okay. But what I like about Rick Woolen is the fact that he understands his personality flaws, and he wants to work on them. Trust me, coming here to work for Vic Fangio, if you make boneheaded decisions, if you go out there and do stupid shit on the field, he's going to let you know about it. Sports radio has turned into midday soaps for millennial casual fans. 1,000%. But the problem is the old school fans still listen. And they don't understand that that's what it is. And what their hosts say, that's what they believe. Now, I will say 97-5, the Fanatic has started putting together a pretty solid team. Marks and Bryce midday. I'm a huge Marks guy, or a huge Bryce guy. Kincaid's decent. Colarulo and Ricky Bowe do a really solid job in the afternoon. Not as much like clickbait, rage bait hate on their shows. A little bit with Kincaid, but whatever. So it's good. It's getting better over there. I'm still telling you to turn the dial down and turn me up every day. Mike Missinelli ruined his show by bringing politics into it. Absolutely. Me and Missinelli got into a huge fight many, many moons ago over the bullying incident with the offensive lineman and the Dolphins. And me and him, I think he blocked me then, so whatever. Flyers making a push coming down the stretch. Hopefully it's a fun stretch. I hope so. Yeah, Colarulo is like my hero. The dude was he was a lawyer, not a pizza shop owner, but he had nothing to do with it. He was just a guy that took up podcasting like me. And within 2 years, he became the prime drive time guy like that. Like the dude's career arc in sports talk was like broom, like this. Rocket ship. Rocket strapped to his back. He got picked up with Jacob Media when they were like a startup, nothing. And literally within 2 years, boom, right to the top. Ike Reese is the only good one. I feel bad, but they must be paying Ike Reese a shit ton of money to put up with Spike Eskin's nonsense every day. Boomers will never understand K-Fab. It's nothing new. I mean, that's the good wrestling term. That is what it is. Is that how you spell it? I think you spell it differently. Sabres lost the game. I know nothing about what's going on with the Sabres. Vasog, what's up? I don't mean to carpet bomb, but where the Eagles sit at the moment shows no improvement from last season, but a decline. So I'm not going to say they're in a decline. They're incomplete, okay, from last year. But my counter to you at this, Vasok, is very simple, okay? Very simple. The counter is it's March 13th. It's 2 days into free agency, 4 days into legal tampering free agency. Safety's a concern, absolutely. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was brought in August 20th 2 years ago, or 4 years ago. There's a lot to happen over the next 2 to 3 months. You cannot judge whether they're worse or better in 2 days. You can't. You got to be patient. Congratulations to you. To you, Steve. Cash that Mav McNeely first-round leader ticket, buddy. Good for you. Good for you. Phil be the only one who don't kayfabe. He enrages by glazing Hurts overly low. I do glaze. I am a Hurts glazer. I'm a Hurts truther. You're not going to ever convince me not to be. Do you find the whole, what we talked about earlier, you're late to show, we'll bring it up again for the people. We're finally hitting 20 concurrent viewers, so we got people. It scares me, the Landon Dickerson situation. It's not on. I think it's clear as day what the situation is. Landon Dickerson is getting more upfront money because he's contemplating retiring early in his life because of health, physically and mentally. It gets him money now and gets us free down the line if he wants to retire. It kills that void year, that dead cap hit in 2028 if he retires, okay? It also, if he gets healthy and stays mentally right or gets mentally right, it lets him hit free agency at 29 years old. So it's win-win for the Eagles and Landon Dickerson. He helps the team out, plus secures a little extra cash right now, and helps the Eagles if he does choose to retire. It tells me he's really strongly considering that his body is not going to hold up more than 1 or 2 more seasons in the NFL. It's a damn shame, Rick. And on top of needing to find Lane Johnson's replacement, you got to find Landon Dickerson's replacement now. 24-hour news made a fortune on KFAB trolling one side to the other. Yeah, it's true. The Eagles will get better in the next 2 months. The next 2 months, the next 4 months, they're always going to get better. Yeah, we're finally, the algo is a little late to the party. We're up to 22 people watching. Guys, like, share, subscribe. If you have not, now's the time to do it. Please, please, please. We've had a huge week. A little slow today, but we've had a huge week on this channel. These are the weeks that I get excited about with what I do. Woolen has huge technique issues, but he has such loud tools and makeup speed that he can survive. I hope we ain't the team that has him when the tool's unsharpened. Look, he's a guy that clearly got benched last year for Josh Jobe. Okay? It is. He does not come without his flaws. There's a lot of flaws in him. In theory, he is better than Adoree Jackson, who I was very high on last year. All right? He's an upgrade over Kelee Ringo. We don't have to worry about Kelee Ringo anymore. Also, so I get it. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad there. But it's a good move, right? And if he plays great, there's a comp pick coming in 2028 for him going and signing a big contract elsewhere. So there's nothing wrong with the Tariq Woolen signing whatsoever. I think people I see people saying that he's going to start over Cooper DeJean and Cooper DeJean's going to be safety. I don't believe it. Because I think when the 5 times a game they go in base formation, Cooper DeJean's still going to be the outside guy. How many starters can we realistically draft this season? Feeling 3 this year. O-line, safety, edge. So you're not drafting a starting offensive lineman. You're drafting someone that can start on the offensive lineman. Our offensive line is set, the starters. Whether they stay healthy or not, TBD, right? But we're not drafting a starting O-lineman this year, okay? But what we can do is draft someone that can fill in and start if necessary, and then be the eventual replacement. Safety, we can draft a starting safety in round 2, 3, 4, somewhere like that. Absolutely. The competition isn't fierce to earn a starting job in that secondary. Edge, we have our 2 starting safeties right now, right? We have J.X. Hunt and Nolan Smith. But you're going to draft an edge that's going to be part of that rotation for sure. Also in rounds 1, 2, 3, 4. By week 6, we're saying Howie did not do enough in free agency. It's possible. It is possible, Marshawn. We did that last year, right? He underestimated the edge position, and he had to go out and fix it, right? But I'm not losing faith in him. I'm not calling him out. I'm not saying he's doing a bad job because 2 days into free agency, our team isn't complete yet. Got to be patient. You have to be patient with a guy that's been able to build 3 Super Bowl appearing rosters, 2 championship rosters in the last 10 years. I'm pretty sure he deserves the benefit of the doubt at this point. I'd like to draft a Steen replacement. Steen did fine. Come on. Steen was the most consistent and healthy offensive lineman we had last year. He wasn't great. He wasn't bad. He was consistent. Okay? You're drafting replacements for Landon and Lane way before Steen. Who would you like the Birds to draft in the first? I don't know. I've run some mock drafts. I posted one yesterday. I want whoever the best offensive tackle is at 23. Now, I did run a mock draft, and I did draft Omar Cooper, wide receiver Indiana, in my latest mock draft, because we do need a wide receiver 3. And we do have a pending A.J. Brown situation to deal with this year or next year, right? Omar Cooper is going to be a first round. We've only brought in 1 player so far for a visit. You can bring in 30 guys for top 30 visits, right? We've only brought in 1, and it's a wide receiver. Tells me they're at least contemplating wide receiver, right? Woolen plays 0 special teams. I hope Ringo still sticks around for special teams. They did sign Jonathon Jones, Washington, New England cornerback, 32-year-old as well yesterday. Another veteran presence in the secondary, a guy that can play all over, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe your secondary room is, you got Mac McWilliams too. So you got Cooper, Q, Woolen, Jones, Keeley, Mac McWilliams. That's 6 cornerbacks. I'm missing somebody else that's still on our roster right now. I forget who it is. But yeah, I have no problem if he's a special teamer. Which one? Another guy that I can't pronounce the name of, Albert Abekatai. I had it pronounced right earlier. Now I forget. He's another Aziz Ojulari type. A guy that's got potential, has performed well in the past, hasn't been consistent. Now, I did look it up. I saw a stat that Albert E., as we're going to call him, instead of Aqua Bowman or Albert O., Albert E. was the number 1 edge rusher in the NFL last year from weeks 12 through 18 in pressure rate. So that's good, right? I agree. That's most likely what it's going to be. We'll see how the board plays out. The board played out incorrectly for Howie's plan last year. We'll see how it plays out this year. Give Steen time. I don't need to give him time. He's already solid enough. So yeah. Good morning, Duck. Better late than never, my man. As always, AK, what's up? How you doing this morning? I would be stoked with Cooper if Howie drafts him. Yeah, you're a Buckeye. You're an Ohio Stater, right? So why do you like the Indiana guy? Isn't he the guy that beat your team? Is that why you like him? Because they beat your team. I like KC. For wide receiver, we go there over Cooper. Yeah, I'm going off of information in front of me. The information in front of me is they have met with him. They haven't met with KC yet. They've only just started the meeting. So in 2 weeks, my mock draft is good. My mock drafts in the early rounds go based off of top 30 visits and things like that. Thing with Landon and Juergens is that when they are good, they play at an elite level. When they are bad, they are horrid. No blocking or protection. Yeah, there's no in between for the two of them, right? The problem with both of their issues, when they're horrid, when they're bad, Marshawn, it's not because of lack of technique. It's because of injuries. And the injuries are piling up. Now they've got 2 guys that they're hopefully grooming to take over for Cam if Cam's back is forever shot. They have Drew Kendall. They have Willie Lampkin. Not saying they're going to be as good, but they've got options there. They don't really have an option for Landon Dickerson right now if Landon Dickerson can't stay healthy. Sixers are not going anywhere. They are not. I'm not wasting my breath on him. He had 8 sacks in the past 2 years. Is that a combined or average? No. So he had his rookie year. He was a second-round pick for Atlanta. He had 2.5 sacks his rookie year in 22. In 23, he had 6. In 24, he had 6. And then last year, he had 2. He's healthy. He doesn't start. He's a rotational guy. He's your 3rd or 4th edge. You go get Greenard, he's your 4th. He could be your 3rd, but most likely he's your 4th best edge rusher next year. Braden Mann, best punter in the league, got paid big bucks yesterday. $17 million as a punter. Punters even getting bags in the NFL now. I like talent. It's cool when Ohio State gets drafted to the Eagles, but ultimately I could care less. I want talent. That's all I want, too. We're acting like Woolen should enter the stadium in a Gold State coach. Pulled by, I'm not. I've been very honest and open about what he is. He's a guy that's got flaws. Now, I thought they were going to just re-sign Adoree Jackson. They didn't. He's a step up. How much of a step up? TB determined. To be determined. TBD. 1,000% Eagles fan, they got to relax about the spending in free agency. Not a lot of money to work with. I respect at least one trade. Expect. I think they're cooking up a big trade. I'm not as high on Greenard as others. I like it, not as much, but there's a lot to do. Nobody wins the Super Bowl on March 13th, Eagles fan. That's what I'm saying. Nobody that spends the most money in free agency normally wins the Super Bowl. People need to relax. People need to be patient. People need to understand that Howie Roseman, he's been here before. He knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. Now, we can judge that plan 6 months from now, but right now we can't. I said the same thing every year. I said at the start, before free agency, I'm like, I'm going to see a million gifts 10 minutes after tampering, starts with the little stick figure poking. Do something, Eagles. It's stupid. It's silly. The guy doesn't suck, Albert E. He's a piece. He's a guy. He's a jag. Just a guy. He's not elite. He is a guy that has, in his career, dropped into coverage a lot. He has played that 3-4, outside linebacker edge role in his career. Could have signed Brisker for less than this edge guy. Yeah, obviously they didn't want him, okay? Brisker also has a massive concussion history, okay? If Brisker at that price was available and the Eagles didn't sign him, I guarantee the reason was because Vic said, I don't know about him, okay? Nobody wins the players on Friday either. You just got to make the cut. You win the players on Saturday and Sunday. I will say, K1, I did see a stat that I didn't know and I missed for Fairway to Heaven, that no one in the last 24, what did they say yesterday, 24 or 25 years has won the players without shooting under par in round one. You have to shoot under par. So if you want to make a live bet, you look at the under par guys and you make a live bet. Predict how he will trade for Myles Garrett on draft night. I see more and more push. More and more fans theorizing this. Just depends on the cost. Are you going to trade your next 2 first-round picks for him? Maybe. I'd be ecstatic if they did. Are you going to trade your next 2 first-round picks and Nolan Smith for him? Probably. The edge guy from the Falcons was good back-to-back years, and then the Falcons brought in a bunch of new edges, and he got pushed out. But then he played well at the end of the year, Anthony, so he got better as the year went on. You could try AJ, a good wide receiver like Brian Thomas. You could. Nobody's answered me. I've asked for 3 straight days. Why is Brian Thomas Jr. on the trade block? That's the question. He ain't Benny. He a Jet. Benny and the Jets. I'm antisocial at work. I eat lunch by myself in the car like nothing else. I'm an antisocial person. I'm an introverted person. You might see this big bubbling personality, but that's not me. So Scotty can't win the players then. That was the stat they said on the broadcast while I was watching. I watched the entire TV broadcast 1 to 7 last night, after 7. I watched it all. At some point, one of the announcers said that. So, yeah, he can't. I seriously think they hired Arnold because of Temple and Penn State. Maybe that had a little to do with it. I don't know. We were choosing to be strong up the middle. We have at least proven to not require rangy safety, but I think it is time for one. Look, Reed Blankenship was a nice player, but Reed Blankenship wasn't a great player, right? And everybody couldn't stop saying how average or below average he was. But now everyone's mad we don't have him or somebody better. We have succeeded with Reed Blankenship and patchwork safety for the last 4 years. When was the last time we had an elite safety? A while. Relax on it, people. Myles is a prime for a Howie trade, maybe Max for a second rounder. I think the Raiders saying they're not trading Max Crosby is because they're telling the NFL we still want 2 firsts for him. It's just because the Jags stink. They're a playoff team. Detroit, guys, if you haven't yet, it's free to do. Hit the buttons on your screen. Like, share, subscribe. Goal is 2,000 by kickoff, September. Let's go. It's a lot of work, but I'm putting in the work every day here for you guys. All you guys got to do is hit those buttons for free for me. I eat lunch at my desk. Well, I don't have a desk. Well, I don't yet, but maybe someday. Shout out, Mister. This is my desk. There has to be a red flag with Brian Thomas Jr. Guy had a great rookie year, then awful second year. See, I didn't watch enough Jaguars football to know that for sure. I thought maybe it was like a personality issue. Maybe it was like a disgruntled. Like, I don't know. But the fact that they're willing to move on from a first-round pick wide receiver that's got so much talent so quickly is a massive red flag for me. Now, if you trade A.J. Brown, you get a massive haul, which I don't think they do. Or I don't know if they do. And they won't for a while. Sure, Brian Thomas and Omar Cooper, getting those two guys to pair with Devontae Smith. Sure, I'm okay with taking a chance if you can get Brian Thomas cheap. Hey, the Falcons call, and I've said, if you want a sleeper team that would trade for A.J. Brown, it would be the Jaguars. If the Jaguars call Howie Roseman and say, hey, we will give you a 2027 first-round pick and Brian Thomas Jr., would you do that deal? I'd do it. I'd consider it for sure. We need to be smart. We have Coop Q and the doc on the docket any day. Exactly. Not the news we'd hoped for, Doc, but they're pulling through, and the core 12 is here for them. That has to be why Arnold has a lengthy injury record. Arnold does. Arnold has played all 17 games the last 3 years, and he played 16 games out of 17 in 2022. So he's only missed one NFL game in his career. So you know. I don't know. I thought that was weird about Brian. Guess because of Hunter? Maybe. Thank you. It was fun yesterday. Not a whole crap ton of people tuned into the live Players Championship watch party. I mean, how many people are off from work at 3 o'clock on a Thursday? But it was fun. And, yeah, we had fun reminiscing yesterday a little bit. Jags GM say Thomas trade rumors are false. That's a leverage thing probably, too. Jacksonville wants Hunter to work out with the high draft pick they used on him. Thomas Jr. is in his way probably. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe. It was a fun ride, Duck, but time to go. Yep, exactly. And sometimes that's just the way it is, you know? It is. Guys, it is the top of the hour. I missed the reset. You are watching Trending in the AM. What's on tap this weekend? I don't know. I don't know if I'll do another watch party today. It wasn't as popular. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow on a Saturday when there's more people around to watch a little golf with me. But we'll see. But, guys, this is Trending in the AM, the #1 morning show that only 2 people watch every single day. So please hit those buttons, like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell one, tell all. We're talking all the things that went down in Eagles Nation. We have not talked about, okay, yet, Jahad Campbell today. We talked about yesterday the bombshell from Vic Fangio that Jahad Campbell was hurt and was missing the offseason. Yesterday, the reports from Eagles beat reporters, Jeff McClain first, and then a whole bunch of people elsewhere said Jahad Campbell had another shoulder surgery this offseason. That is 2 shoulder surgeries in 2 straight off seasons for Jahad Campbell. And while I'm a Jahad Campbell fan, and I'm not giving up on him on the talent, it is massively concerning that your first-round pick from 2025 has now had 2 straight seasons of shoulder surgeries. That is not a good thing, right? It's about your Old Dirty Bastard song. I remember Old Dirty Bastard. 21-24, it's been brutal. The words of the Geniuses' very first album, what? 36 Chambers. I don't know my Old Dirty Bastard albums and stuff like that. Interesting. Campbell will be fine. He'll go down to Columbia soon. Yeah. Like, that's just the key thing. Everybody in Eagles Nation is heading down to Columbia to get some treatment done on whatever. You gotta love it, right? Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, maybe he goes too. Who knows? But it is what it is, Doc. But yes, it is concerning to me. I can't lie and say, knowing that he's not just hurt, like he had to have surgery again. I don't know if it was the same surgery that he had before the draft last year that got him to fall to us at 31. Now, while Keith and some and Nooms say he's no good, I say I'm concerned because of the injury history, and it could turn out to be a miss in the draft. Let's keep hitting those buttons, guys. Campbell definitely worries me. It's got to worry you. What's he, 22, 23? 1 year done in the NFL and already 2 shoulder surgeries in just over a year span, not even a year span. It's crazy. With you, dude. Surgeries back-to-back off season on the same. We don't. I don't know if they've confirmed it's the same shoulder. They just confirmed that it was Jeff McLean and then Zach Berman and all the other guys picked it up. They confirmed it was a shoulder surgery. They haven't gone any deeper than that, which is crazy that we didn't know about it until Vic Fangio had one too many old fashions at Dick Vermeil's award ceremony and dropped that bombshell. It's kind of like the Eagles were keeping that tight to the vest there. Kind of weird, right? I can see Hurts on the field playing in a sedan chair. We might need to hire 4 extra people to hold up the damn legs on that thing. What? What's that even mean? Guy needs those reps. Yeah, he does. And he's not going to get the reps till training camp probably. It's no bueno, Kevin. What up, Bellafit? How we doing this fine, beautiful, cold-ass morning? It was like 80 degrees 2 days ago. And yesterday, my grass got covered in snow for a minute. What the F is wrong with Mother Nature? Now, I don't know if it's old-fashioned. He strikes me as an old-fashioned guy. He strikes me as a bourbon or whiskey guy. He strikes me as a guy sitting by the fireplace on a cold, wintry day. His wife's knitting a sweater, and there's Uncle Vic knocking back an old-fashioned. Hey, hon, get me another. Sure thing, sweetie. What if the Eagles gave A.J. Brown an extension instead of trading him? I don't think they're allowed to give him an extension this year because the new extension hasn't kicked in yet. I think it kicks in this year. So I don't think they can give him an extension this year. I read that somewhere, not from a verified source. The mastery of the chess boxing, we're just going on from these. Doesn't worry me at all. He's not good enough, good shoulder or not. See, I knew you were going to say something like that, Keith. I'm worried about the shoulder. I'm not worried about the athleticism or talent. I'm worried about the shoulder. The shoulder might be why it was a mistake, not the talent, okay? We will agree to disagree on Jihad Campbell there. This weather effing sucks back and forth and upside down. It's the upside down world. Mother Nature got pissed off a long time ago and said, you know what, we're going to fuck with you for a long time. Sleepy Hurts thing again. He's just finding different ways to say it. I know what he was doing. I was just trying to ignore it and move on from it. I know what all your games are. The core people that listen all the time. We got some newer people, in the chat or non-regulars in chat. Eagles fan, one of them, not regularly here. I know what the regulars do. I know the games you play. I do. It's okay. It's all right. I understand. I take it. Okay? It's part of being here with you guys every morning, 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week. I accept it, okay? I accept what you guys put me through on a daily basis. But that's what makes this show so special. That's what makes this show the best morning show in Philadelphia. I don't do it for the money. I do it for the passion, the fun, and for you guys. Finding a way to make a buttload of money on it would be great, but that's not here nor there. What's up, Mitchie Poo? How was that Sixers game last night? Did you actually watch it? I know you stir the pot. You can get you're like the 3 witches from whatchamacallit, Halloween, stirring the pot, That's what you are. Campbell will be fine. He's on a rookie contract. We'll see if he or he'll be cut and replaced by Trotter Brothers. Yes, we were picked. I don't think so. I figured you did. Well, I knew you did because I hit the like button for you. But I will say you are one big-ass sicko for doing it. I'm confident I'm Howie. I want him to run all 4 teams. I would love Howie Roseman to run all 4 teams. I would. When the MLB institutes a salary cap, whenever the lockout ends, I want Howie Roseman to train whoever the Phillies GM is on how to manage a salary cap. Consult on fixing the salary cap issue. I'm not a big Star Wars guy. I never was. I appreciate the original 3, but I was never a big fan. I have not watched any of the new ones in the last 10, 15 years. Campbell had the same issues that made N'Kobe a red flag, which is why I would rather go with the sure thing. Yeah, the sure thing's always better. Sometimes you reach for talent, potential over the sure thing. You hope for the boom bust. maybe the Eagles thought they were in a position after winning the Super Bowl they could take a chance because of their team and their roster. They could take a chance on him. I mean, it was a first-round pick, but it's kind of like, what's his name, the cornerback back in, 17? Sidney Jones, coming off an Achilles tear, took him in the second round. It was a high-risk, high-reward move. It didn't work out. Oh, well. My uncle lives in Texas and was laughing at my terrible weather in Philly. That's why I don't get along with that side of my family. That's why I want to move to Florida. Macbeth, the witches are from Macbeth. No, that's not what I was thinking of. That little stupid Sarah Jessica Parker was in it and whatnot. I was thinking of that one. That's what popped in my head with their, things hanging out, over the stew. Yeah. Good choices. Yep. To a large extent, your movie franchise choices will be impacted by what you or dads like. I absolutely agree. It's a great point. That's why I'm such a James Bond guy. My dad was. I like old school classic Westerns because of my dad. I like everything of my dad. I have a wide range of music interests because of my dad. I'm a sports nut because of my dad. Our power does go out in the whole state when they get a freeze or a small storm. Tell them about that. That's true. Shout out. Yep. I think a Brown and Hurts trade as a package would bring a great wide receiver. Stop. Hocus pocus. That's what I was thinking of. Hocus pocus is what I was thinking of. Now, you never know what you're going to talk about in Trending the AM. Yeah, we talk Eagles. We talk Phillies. Chase Utley, by the way. Here, let's give a... Chase Utley has been announced the latest addition to the Philadelphia Phillies Wall of Fame. Obviously well-deserved. It brings into question, will he get into the Hall of Fame next year? 2024, his first year of eligibility, he got 28.8% of the vote. 2025, he got 39.8% of the vote. This year, he got 59.8% of the vote. Trending in the direction of Hall of Fame, I think he gets in 2 years. But obviously, a round of applause for the Silver Fox there, Chase Utley, getting his right place on the Wall of Fame. Other huge Phillies news that I want to touch on is that Zach Wheeler, okay? Zach Wheeler will be throwing batting practice on Saturday. The first time he's throwing to live hitters since his surgery last year. Huge step forward for Zach Wheeler. May 1st may really be in the cards for Zach Wheeler. So there's two huge pieces of Phillies news right there. See, look at me. I cover them all. We've talked all four major teams. Here, the Union suck ass. There, I talked all five major teams. Plus, we talked golf today, and we dropped Hocus Pocus in the chat. They're not. This is what he's doing, Robert. He's stirring the pot, okay? 2008 lineup was the end of it, seriously. It was. If we trade both as a package, the other team is giving up all their first and seconds for the next 4 seasons. And maybe not, yeah. Did Wheeler go down to Columbia? I don't know what he did. But he is on the fast track to being back to the starting rotation. And with Aaron Nola looking great, with Andrew Painter looking great, let's hope Sanchez stays healthy in the World Baseball Classic. Lazaro getting his extension. Starting pitching isn't a problem for the Philadelphia Phillies. Think he gets in next season? 12 all-team award, yeah. I mean, the trend is he's gone up 10, 20. Yeah, even if he went up 20% from 25 to 26, that gets him in if he does that again. Eagles just signed Jay Jones. Yeah, we already went over that. Jonathon Jones, they signed that late last night, 1-year deal, 32-year-old cornerback. Definitely a solid depth cornerback. Who's the leader for the Phillies? Don't think we had one. We don't have. See, in 2008, we had Rollins, Utley, and Howard, all leading different ways, right? In 93, we had Darren Dalton, John Kruk, Lenny Dykstra. We got JT Realmuto, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper. They lead a little differently. I think the biggest leader is Kyle Schwarber of this team, and it's really close between JT and Bryce. They don't lead the traditional way that me and you might want our leaders to lead, but they still do lead. Looked better in the World Baseball Classic. He looked good in his first start in spring training as well, Duck. His fastball is a good 1.5 miles an hour faster than it was at its peak last year already. It's higher than it was in 2024 as well, as what I read by a smidge. Yes, the Bills did restructure Josh Allen's contract. Big whoop. The Bills, Josh Allen's still a choke artist, plain and simple. Can't convince me Josh Allen's winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. Not because they went out and signed DJ Moore. That ain't going to solve anything right there. That ain't going to fix anything. Not even going to address it. I'm not even addressing it. I can't today. I cannot do it today, okay? What else? Did I cover everything on my notes? Falcons' new edge for the Eagles. Yeah, the new cornerback. Brady MANN, Campbell, Reek Woolen. We talked about Bryce Huff's announcing his retirement. Jaire Alexander, we got a cap credit of $900K for Jaire Alexander in that situation from last year. Because, again, the Ravens do some shady-ass shit, it seems like. Okay? Covered Jonathon Greenard, Utley, Wheeler. Did I miss anything yesterday? No. Yeah, the coaching updates, which we talked about. Clint, I think I've covered a lot of stuff this week. Buffalo's new stadium looks bland. I didn't see Buffalo's new stadium. I did see the new stadium that Washington's looking at building. I don't know if it's what's going on with it, but yeah. Today's the day that we learn about Dallas Goedert. Over, under. Dallas, or yes or no? Dallas Goedert is an Eagle by the end of today. That is the question to close the show out. Will we get him? Bills will not make it to the Super Bowl as long as Sleepy Josh. There you go. I see what you're doing there. Restructures contract. He wants to retire soon. Yes, we've covered a lot. It's literally win-win for Dickerson and the Eagles. We give him a little bit more money up front. We get out of his contract early. If he wants to retire, it doesn't hurt us, right? And if he doesn't want to retire, he enters free agency at 29 as a premier guard. So it's win-win all around there. Yeah, what do you expect in Buffalo? If Allen was in Philly, he'd stop. I saw a comment come in. I want to. Is AJ gone, Rick? I don't think so. Not today. If AJ is gone, it's not going to be until July 1st. Or June 1st. It's just not. Howie doesn't want any more picks this year. Howie wants those 27 picks. Howie doesn't want to eat $40 million in cap space this year. Plain and simple. So it's not happening this year. Unless it happens late in the offseason, which we'll see. Allen is reckless. Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't see any there's been no Dallas Goedert news from any other team linked to him, right? They obviously pushed back the contract void date to today to continue working on it, okay? Like you just start trouble. He is a troublemaker. That's why he types in all capital letters. It's not worth talking about trading Jalen Hurts because there's a 0.00 chance it's happening anytime in this, what year is it, 2026? Anytime this decade, it's not happening. 0 chance it happens this decade. Plain and simple, okay? So it ain't worth my time, all right? There's always one in every group, guys, right? There's always one troublemaker, right? There's always that one kid that just smiles and the teacher thinks he's doing something wrong, so he sends him to detention. I haven't seen any real legit rumors on Dallas Goedert yet. But I hope he gets. I don't know if they would do 3. Maybe he wants 3 years and the Eagles are offering 2, and that's the holdup. Dallas Goedert's, 30, going to be 31 years old. He's got to know that this is his last chance to get a decent payday. He probably wants a 3-year deal. Eagles are probably stuck on 2. Can we meet in the middle at 2.5 years? Allen's a great quarterback, but he doesn't seem to be focused enough. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he's talented. They're probably going to get 11 or 12 wins at least. And 10 wins as long as they win. Stop. The Eagles always end up trading the quarterback. We haven't heard any Tanner McKee rumors. And maybe we're saving the Tanner McKee trade for draft night this year. He's a little like McNabb, yeah. If Hurts completely craps up, maybe they would discuss in 29. Maybe in 2029. I won't say 0 anything. Anything can happen, but I get your point. Yeah, you get my point. Absolutely. Anything can happen. There's no such thing, AK, as untouchables in sports. So, yes, anything can happen. But you're going to have to pay an arm and a leg to get it to happen. You're going to have to overpay. You're going to pay your arm and a leg and go steal that guy's arm or leg as well. Okay? He doesn't spend his money frivolously, and he doesn't have multiple baby mamas. He should be fine. That is true. It's possible. Things are weird in the NFL. It's like the new Titans logo. I didn't even know they changed their logo. To be brutally honest with you, that did not hit my algorithm on Twitter. I do know the Titans are spending a lot of money, and they don't have a quarterback. So who knows what the Titans are doing. Won't have to pay an arm and a leg if it's an injury base, and I don't mean to throw that out there. You're turning to Rick. Predicted injuries for Jalen Hurts, right? Not predicting, but putting that negative thought into the universe. They're not paying for AJ. Who? Why did Jack name his daughter Ozzy? What? I think he comes back. Who? Adam? You think he comes back on a 3-year deal, not a rumor. Gotcha. I think he probably wants 3, and the Eagles want to give him 2, and they're playing hardball right now. They both know they want him here. Nobody wants to move an inch on the deal. That's something that has to happen. The problem with Dallas Goedert is there's nobody else that's looking at him, right? If he doesn't stay here on a 2-year or 3-year deal, no team's giving him a 2 or 3 year. He'd be signing a 1-year, $8 million deal somewhere else. So he might as well just settle here. I knew Murray was nothing a long time ago. Injuries go for anyone. Doesn't mean it's just Hurts. I absolutely agree. Howie's waiting for the right deal. I think Howie is waiting for draft night to see somebody miss out on who they want and call Howie. And after he wants 27 draft picks. Deeper, stronger draft class next year. Right? By all reports at this point. That could change. He wants a 3rd-round pick for Tanner McKee that if XYZ conditions hit, turns into a 2nd-round pick. That is what he wants for it. He doesn't want a 3rd-round pick this year. He wants a 3rd round with a condition next year so that they could see Tanner McKee play and maybe improve upon it. I heard the Eagles wanted a 1-year. Dallas is better. That is who they hired. Yeah, they might. Maybe it's a 1-year, 2-year argument going on. I do think that if he's not signed today, he's done with Philly. They're not going to eat the cap hit and re-sign him. So it's good. I don't know when the deadline is today. At some point today, the contract voids. I don't know when that'll be. But whenever that happens, that's the deadline. We can offer Goddard 3 years. We know that what he is, and he will be fine. Tight end 1 for 2 years, and tight end 2. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem giving him 2 years. I don't love the idea of 3 years, but I'm content with 3 years as long as you draft somebody for him to groom, for sure. Has all-female management team. What happened to the traditional male? You see a lot more female management out there for athletes across sports. I've seen a few of them pop up more and more lately. Good for them. So he's doing a book tour because Jalen Hurts put out like a little children's book. And he was doing an interview for it. I forget where. And I just saw a little clip of it. And he's like, the 2 female hosts were like, we really love your wife. He's like, I really love my wife too. I was like, that's such a sweet thing to say. His money year, it most likely is going to be a 3-year. I think they're holding out hope to keep it less than 3 years on Dallas Goedert, is my opinion. Do you think there's any chance Murray goes back to baseball in a year or 2 from now? I think that ship has sailed probably. What's he now, 28, 29? Kyler Murray's just a lazy athlete, okay? He just doesn't care. He doesn't love sports or being an athlete. He's an athlete that plays sports, football right now, because he's athletic and he wants the money, not because he loves it. Kyler Murray, I called draft night that Kyler Murray was going to be a bust. Never liked his game, never liked his attitude or personality. And where I said the same thing about Caleb Williams has proven me wrong and shown some maturity and growth over his 2 years in the NFL. We never saw any growth from Kyler Murray. I think if he's 28, 29 years old, if you say a year or 2 from now, he's not going to switch from football to baseball at 30 years old. That just seems silly, in my opinion. I think it's going to be funny. Now, I don't think this other guy I'm about to name is that good of a quarterback either, or hasn't proven anything yet. But I think it's going to be funny as shit when J.J. McCarthy beats Kyler Murray out for the starting job in Minnesota. It worked out fine for Hurts. I think the whole female management team works for him, and I don't care. I don't care. I don't think there's any reason to make a big deal about it. I think Mr. was just making a joke, to be honest with you. What's up with the chef hat Hurts wears? It's crazy. The Eagles have the best dressed team, the classiest dressed team in the NFL. Would you rather him have a Cam Newton type hat on? Seriously. I just figured he'd go back and play for the A's if he can't find a decent team to play for. Things go wrong because I think they were the team that drafted him in baseball. They do still own his rights. No, I don't think they do that. I think that would be fun. I shouldn't say they won't do it. It's doubtful. But the A's are moving to Vegas. They're a terrible franchise. Kyler Murray, while he probably is no good at baseball anymore, you don't play baseball for 10 years or whatever it's been, you lose it pretty quickly probably. But it would probably sell a few tickets for a week or two. It would be a good publicity stunt for the A's. I could say that. That would be the only reason why Kyler Murray would go and play for the A's, as a publicity stunt. If that makes sense, AK. Giants got Dimes deal done, right? What? Daniel Jones got his extension with the Colts. Said, show me the money. And nobody showed him the money. Chef's hats, did I miss something? You know, it's whatever. It's a little flat-brimmed hat. I know he said it wrong, but I wasn't going to call him out. Murray is hard. He's just a terrible athlete. Or a terrible football player. Who was a worse attitude, Kyler Murray or Cam Newton? Well, they both have different kinds of terrible attitude, for sure. Kyler Murray's just lazy. Cam Newton was lazy when he was an athlete, and now as a media member, he's just an idiot, nitwit, clown, clickbait artist. A's had the same problem as the Raiders in Oakland. The media rights kill them from making real cash in California. It's possible. I think it's different now, but as players, they were similar. Do you think players from this draft class be forced to start right away or able to slowly rotate in? For the Eagles or overall? It just depends. Each situation differently. I always think athletes need time, to develop, time to earn their way into the starting lineup, time to adjust to the speed of the game. It's always been something I've wanted for athletes. Dart, so Hurts has had no competition at NFC East. What? Yeah, I get it, but we did watch Michael Jordan go play baseball at 30, and he didn't do well at it, okay? He only made it up from Double-A for a quick week as a publicity stunt. And then that's it. Cam came back to Panthers 2 or 3 years ago. He had his second chance. He was ass, yeah. Cam, yeah. Indiana Bears, horrible, what? I never heard that Cam was lazy. I don't know if Cam was lazy. Cam was full of himself. Kyler's lazy. Cam was full of himself. Cam thought he was Tom Brady when he wasn't even close. He wasn't close. Who the hell needs a video game limit in their stupid contract? Exactly. His video game issues, not gambling issues that I'm aware of. Jordan has got. I still believe the fact that Michael Jordan left basketball to hide some kind of a gambling situation that got uncovered. I know they say, I know the story, whatever, but there's some truth to that rumor, I think. That's the word. That's the toughest lazy. Who was lazier comment? I think Ben Simmons was more naturally talented athletically than Kyler Murray. They were both super lazy and could care less about their individual sport or team. I'll say Ben Simmons was lazier just because I got the full Ben Simmons experience. I get the Kyler Murray experience across 2 time zones. So I'll say Ben Simmons, but I don't know if I'm right in that. Mr. Seals wants to fight the welterweight champion Romero. Who? What? I don't know. I never said he was good. I just said he did it. Okay. All right. Yeah. And I didn't say he wouldn't do it. I said he wouldn't be any good at it. And if he did do it, it would only be a publicity stunt. If the Bears move out of Illinois, it's the end of the Bears. Chicago fans. Is there rumors that Chicago's moving out of Chicago? Eagles draft class asking because how the roster may be constructed. It just depends on who they draft. If they draft a wide receiver in round 1, he's going to be playing and starting week 1 in the slot. If they draft an offensive tackle, barring a camp injury, he's going to be on the bench. If they draft the safety in round 2, he might start. But that's about it. What spots do we need a starter at, really? Wide receiver 3, safety. Maybe tight end if Dallas Goedert doesn't get done. They're the only 3 things you could draft that would start day 1. Bears are moving to Indiana here soon. They're not staying in Chicago from what everyone is saying. So he's calling the Indiana Bears. Gotcha. I mean, I haven't heard that rumor, to be honest with you. I thought they were already working on a stadium. Or they spent a lot of money to upgrade Soldier Field, maybe. Ben Simmons was saying, I said it from day one. He wasn't going to make it past his first extension in the NBA. Quarterback ranking coming. That's later in the offseason. I didn't even notice. We're 5+ minutes past overtime already. To be fair, Chicago is a shithole. The people in come on. I think Chicago's I've never been there, but I heard it's a great city. If they draft a quarterback, then no, yeah, exactly. If Harper and Dave Dombrowski can get along, Harper will go to have the Oakland Athletics. Can't get along since he's from Vegas. Maybe. That would be a marketing thing right there for sure. They couldn't get money out of the state. Okay, gotcha. I got to fire through these because I got to wrap this baby up soon here. Ben Simmons' fitness level is higher than Joel Embiid, who's lazier. I don't know. Good value. We've had a lot of good value this week. I put the work in this week, okay? They wanted to move to a suburb like an hour outside the city, but the state wasn't willing to eat it. Hey, the Eagles are going to move out of the city too. And guarantee at some point they move out of the city to a place like where the mall was. I forget what it was called now off the top of my head. That is very likely, in my opinion. Whose season is more title or bust with their current rosters? Eagles or Phillies? The Phillies, because they haven't won a title since 2008. If the Phillies don't win a World Series, Rob Thompson is gone. If the Phillies don't win a World Series, Dave Dombrowski is gone. The Eagles, because they just won one in 24 and were in one in 22, Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman have a little bit more of a little breathing room there in their contracts and stuff. Friday the 13th, be safe out there. Absolutely. Don't egg anybody's houses, okay? If you're going to egg anybody on Friday the 13th, egg WIP's office. From what I'm hearing, Chicago didn't want to renew their contract. Why wouldn't they want to? It's weird. I mean, the team is one of the original teams in football, isn't it? Some Harper, some lip gloss and chocolate, seriously. Bell's half hour outside the city. Yeah. Eagles are moving. Franklin Mills. That was the name of the mall. That was it. The Franklin Mills Mall. That's still in the city. I thought that was in a suburb. I didn't know that. Okay. I only went there once when it first opened, and that was it. It was way too far from where we live. 100% the Eagles moving to Delaware. Delaware? I don't know about Delaware. Anit Dombrowski is gone regardless. He mostly, yeah. Maybe. Anyway, we got to wrap this baby up. That's about an hour and 40 minutes. That's like 100 minutes of showtime today for you guys. Everybody, thank you very much. Good show. Started slow, picked up the speed. I can end the show even with unread chat. I mean, if you have good content, I'll keep going. But if we're just talking about Chicago Bears stadium moving, then I'm going to move on for the day. Gotcha. You too. 5 miles away. Okay, I didn't know that. $10 wise? You drop a $10 super chat, I'll give you 10 more minutes. All right, Mad Chatter? There's your goal. I'll give you 30 seconds. You drop 10 bucks, I'll drop 10 more minutes for you, okay? Otherwise, I'm wrapping this baby up and this should bang up. But anyway, I don't think we'll do a live stream for the Players Championship probably tomorrow. I don't know what time. I'll chat with Jason and Steven, see if they're free anytime tomorrow to do one with me tomorrow. Poll question, yes, 13%. Are you losing faith in Howie? No, 80%, 7% getting worried. Sixers don't make the playoffs. They should move to Kansas again. They already talked about that before. Anyway, we're going to wrap this baby up. Everybody have a great Friday. Everybody have a great Friday the 13th. Back Monday morning, more show, more stuff. We'll know Dallas Goedert in the next few hours. Maybe I'll do a video when we know that news. But otherwise, everybody have a great weekend. Go Birds. Bubbles up.